Dakota Johnson has spent over a decade navigating Hollywood with a combination of vulnerability, charisma, and quiet confidence. But what has always set her apart is her unapologetic love for the art of storytelling itself. In a recent conversation, Johnson offered a candid look into her cinematic obsessions, discussing two films that have deeply resonated with her recently, The Lost Daughter and Persuasion, while also letting fans in on a confession. She completely fangirled over Paul Mescal. Johnson described The Lost Daughter as haunting and deeply intimate, a film that examines the complicated realities of motherhood, personal ambition, and the sacrifices women make. It's one of those movies that doesn't just tell a story, it makes you feel it, almost uncomfortably so, she explained. She praised the performances, the writing, and the direction, emphasizing how rare it is to find a film that balances beauty with raw, sometimes unsettling emotional honesty. Watching it felt like holding a mirror up to experiences we often ignore or try to simplify, she said. It's a film that lingers with you in the quietest moments, and I can't stop thinking about it. In contrast, Johnson's enthusiasm for Persuasion revealed a lighter, more playful side. She couldn't hide her excitement when discussing Paul Mescal's performance. I completely fangirled over him, she admitted, laughing. It's not just that he's talented, though he is. It's the way he inhabits a character with this quiet magnetism that draws you in without even trying. You watch him and feel every subtle emotion, every unspoken thought. Johnson went on to describe the sheer joy of watching actors deliver performances that are both technically precise and emotionally raw, calling it the kind of acting that makes you want to pause the movie and watch it again just to understand what's happening beneath the surface. What emerged in the conversation was a portrait of Johnson not just as a celebrated actress, but as a devoted fan of cinema. She spoke about the inspiration she draws from other performers and how witnessing their craft influences her own work. I've learned as much from watching movies as I have from acting in them, she said. It reminds me why I fell in love with storytelling in the first place, because it can make you think, make you feel, and sometimes even make you a little obsessed. Johnson also reflected on how her personal experiences shape her relationship with film. She admitted that she gravitates towards stories that explore identity, motherhood, and personal choice, but she also enjoys the thrill of discovery, the rush of encountering a performance or a narrative that surprises her. There's a real joy in seeing someone do something you've never seen before, she said. It reminds you that storytelling is limitless. You never stop learning. Her commentary on Mescal, in particular, revealed a relatable side to the Hollywood star. Fans often see the polished, curated image of actors in interviews, but Johnson's excitement was refreshingly authentic. I don't care if it sounds silly, she said. I fangirl. I admire. I get inspired. And that's part of being human and being in love with this art form. She described how Mescal's performance in Persuasion resonated with her own experiences and emotions, connecting her as a viewer to the character in a way that felt personal and immediate. Throughout the conversation, Johnson's admiration extended beyond performances to storytelling itself. She reflected on the role of nuance, subtlety, and emotional honesty in film, noting that the best stories are often those that leave room for interpretation and self-reflection. I love films that don't spell everything out for you, she explained. The ones that trust you to feel, to think, to question. Those are the films I go back to again and again. By the end of the discussion, it was clear that Dakota Johnson's cinematic passions are as thoughtful and multidimensional as her own performances. She balances intellectual curiosity with emotional openness, fan admiration with professional insight, and personal reflection with a genuine joy in storytelling. Whether she's contemplating a character's inner life or cheering on the performance of a fellow actor, Johnson embodies a rare duality. She is both an artist and a fan, deeply engaged in her craft while never losing the wonder that drew her to it in the first place. In sharing her thoughts on The Lost Daughter, Persuasion, and Paul Mescal, Dakota Johnson reminds us that great actors are often great viewers too. They notice, they feel, they analyze, and they celebrate what moves them. And in doing so, they inspire audiences to do the same. Whether through the quiet heartbreak of a story, the thrill of a nuanced performance, or the simple joy of fangirling over an actor who brings something magical to the screen. Dakota Johnson is proof that, in the end, loving cinema isn't just about watching. It's about feeling, learning, and letting yourself be swept away completely.